Okay, good morning everyone. Let's proceed to our second to the last topic for the midterms of our hematology, which is our lymphomas. So for today, let's discuss the two principal classifications of our lymphoma, which is our Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's. Then what are the major clinical and laboratory findings of these diseases? What are the different characteristics of our lymphocytes, which is yung Reed-Sternberg cells natin, no? And LLH cells, no? Then, summarize the different treatments. And lastly, define yung sa special disease natin under non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is your mycosis fungoides and Sézary syndrome. Okay? So again, let's review. So amongst the mature lymphoid neoplasms, again, sometimes asymptomatic to fulminant disease. In lymphomas, you have to look for the B symptoms. Again, no B symptoms. Ano yung B symptoms? Unexpected weight loss, yung persistent fever, and recurrent drenching night sweats. No? So how to diagnose these neoplasms or lymphomas? Una, we do CBC with differential count. We do flow cytometry, we do fluorescence in situ hybridization, bone marrow aspirate and biopsy, we do immunophenotyping and molecular testing. Biochemical analysis also again is used to measure tumor burden. And for lymphoma, the gold standard is your excisional biopsy. To detect the presence of metastasis and for staging, we also do imaging. Okay, so let's review again the staging. We have the Ann Arbor staging, no? Based on RODAX, Ann Arbor staging is used primarily in your Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it documents kung ano if may nodal or extranodal signs of involvement. And it also considers the presence of your presence or absence of your B symptoms, and it is further subcategorized into limited, which is yung stage 1 and stage 2, or extensive disease, which is yung 3 and 4. So, in your Ann Arbor staging, no, ang limited disease is one node involved only, or a single extranodal site. So, meaning, stage 1, 1. Okay? So, pag stage 2, 2 na siya. 2 nodes or groups or lymphatic structures. Then, very important, dapat same side sa diaphragm, no? However, 2E siya if with involvement of your contiguous extralymphatic organ or tissue. Okay? So, stage 2, na 2 nodes, then same side, or if limited contiguous extralymphatic organ. Now, paano kung advanced? Kung both sides of the diaphragm na, that is your advanced disease, no? Then, if with involvement of the spleen, that is your 3S, or limited contiguous extralymphatic organ or tissue involvement, or both. Okay? Then lastly, stage 4 is your diffuse or disseminated foci of involvement of equal or more than, or one or more than one extralymphatic organ or tissue without associated lymphatic involvement. Okay? While Lugano, on the other hand, is usually used in your NHL. Then it's also a bit the same with your and simpler than your Ann Arbor staging. Okay? So, again, for prognostication, we use the internal prognostic index, no? More on the, from the, no, non-Hodgkin's and Hodgkin's lymphoma, but there are some lymphomas like yung mantle type na lymphoma and your follicular lymphoma which use different prognostic index, no? So let's discuss our different lymphomas. So our lymphoid cancers is further subdivided based on the presence of Reed-Sternberg cells or wala. No? If we have the presence of a Reed-Sternberg cells, then that is your Hodgkin's lymphoma, and it is further subclassified into nodular lymphocyte predominant. Why? Because these are CD30 and CD15 negative, and their type of cell is yung LNH cell instead of your Reed-Sternberg cell. Now, classic Hodgkin's lymphoma is CD30 and CD15 positive, with the presence of your Reed-Sternberg cells, and it is classified into four subtypes. While your non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, on the other hand, is differentiated if it is T cell or B cell type and further subdivided into kung ano ba siya, mycosis fungoides, Sézary syndrome, mantle cell, diffuse large B cell, Burkitt's lymphoma, and so on and so forth. So, in summary, this is the difference between the two actually. So, sa Hodgkin's lymphoma, it arises both from your T and B cells. On the other hand, sa non-Hodgkin's, primarily sa B cells, but it may arise from your T and NK cells. Again, major difference is your presence of Reed-Sternberg cells, no? Ang Hodgkin's lymphoma, konti lang ang subtype, no? Classified into classic and yung nodular lymphocyte predominant. Then your classic is further classified into four subtypes. When your non-Hodgkin's lymphoma has more than 60 subtypes, okay? Then symptoms almost always the same, and treatment is also the same actually. So let's discuss first our non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So the primary site of the disease of your NHL is your lymph nodes and spleen, and it has a leukemic phase. So yung leukemic phase, we appreciate the presence of your lymphoma cells in your peripheral blood smear. So ano yung mga different non-Hodgkin lymphoma subtypes that has a leukemic phase? You can see here sa box 34.4. Okay, yung Sézary syndrome, diffuse large B cell, small lymphocytic, Burkitt's lymphoma, and so on and so forth. So first, let's discuss the first type of our non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's your adult T-cell leukemia or lymphoma or your ATLL. So this is a post-thymic neoplastic disorder of our T-cell, no? And it's associated with the virus human T lymphotropic virus type 1, and it's more transmitted transplacentally by the breastfeeding, blood, or intercourse. And it had yung patients who are infected with HTLV1 or has a 5% lifetime risk of developing ATLL. Okay, so ATLL has four clinical subtypes. You have acute, leukemic or lymphoma phase, chronic, and smoldering type. Yung acute ATLL natin is the most common and most studied subtype. It has aggressive, extensive extranodal involvement, more on the peripheral blood smear in the skin. And we have then furthermore, we have different complications. We have osteolytic lesions, hypercalcemia, and immunosuppression. Sometimes these patients will present with infection. Okay? Now, so, yung ano natin, leukemic phase, this refers to a stage where certain lymphomas, where the malignant lymphocytes circulate in the peripheral blood resembling leukemia. Kaya parang leukemic phase siya. Okay? So, paano siya nag-occur? Nangyayari ito kung yung primary nodal natin or tissue-based lymphoma spills over the blood. So, sa leukemic phase, we will appreciate marked leukocytosis and we can appreciate what we call as flower cell. No? So, what are the different immunophenotypes? We appreciate the presence of CD3 and CD4, and it's negative in your CD7 and CD8. And this immunophenotype is consistent with your T helper cell. Then the presence of CD25 and CCR4 postulates that maybe this acute T cell leukemia may come from your T helper 2 or T regulatory cells. Now, if there is the presence of an increase in your soluble type interleukin 2, this is a tumor marker for disease status and sometimes used for um, treatment progression. Okay? So again, our acute subtype has a poor prognosis and yung chronic subtype natin has a better prognosis. This type of leukemia or lymphoma rather, is treated with the combination since this is a viral infection. So usually interferon alpha combined with your azidothymidine, which is effective against the HTLV1 virus. Then again, since this patient has a positive CCR4, then we can use your anti-CCR4 antibody with the name of mogamulizumab. And lastly, your hematopoietic stem cell transplantation. So your next disease is your Burkitt's lymphoma. So the Burkitt's lymphoma is an aggressive malignancy of our B cell, okay? mature B cell. So it has a rapid tumor growth and with pulmonary clinical presentation with three subtypes. So kung endemic Burkitt's lymphoma, they are usually a disease of younger population, more on sa bata, with common extranodal involvement, usually in your orbits and your mandible, and it is associated with your EBV virus. Okay, then we also have the sporadic, more on with abdominal disease. Common is we have bone marrow infiltration in 70% and usually my CNS involvement. Burkitt's lymphoma can also be immunodeficiency associated, common in patients diagnosed with HIV post-transplantation, and primarily involves the blood and bone marrow. Now, what are the clinical findings? No, the Burkitt lymphoma cells are your finely clumped chromatin deeply basophilic cytoplasm with distinct vacuoles. No, so as you can see here, no, it has distinct vacuolations. No, then on the other hand, it is called as yung starry sky, no? These result from tingible body macrophages, no? As you can see, usually found in the germinal centers, suspended in the sea of malignant cells. So, kani mga puti diri, these are your macrophages trying to engulf your malignant cells. So, yung the rest of the palibot is your malignant cells. So, immunophenotype of our Burkitt's lymphoma, they represent a bit of our mature B cell, again, because this is a disease of mature B cell. Kaya we appreciate yung surface receptor, yung immunoglobulin D, the light chain restriction protein or LCR. We appreciate also the presence of CD10. Then, it's negative for CD34 and terminal dinucleotidase, and it's usually associated with your MYC gene mutation. So, the Burkitt's lymphoma, though aggressive, it's highly responsive to your chemotherapy and it's curable in 90% with patients. But your risk is your tumor lysis syndrome. Okay? So, next, let's discuss our follicular lymphoma. So, for the follicular lymphoma, kung ang Burkitt, it's your mature B. Ang follicular, it's a neoplastic disorder of your germinal B cells, no? And it is the second most common type of your non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's common to middle-aged adults with indolent course, and it's generally incurable. So, what are the clinical findings of your follicular lymphoma? Patients will present with painless lymphadenopathy. So, on your blood smear and in your bone marrow, you will appreciate the presence of FL cells. These are cells with scant cytoplasm, with heavily dense chromatin, and distinct, ang pinaka-distinct nito ay nuclear clefts at sharp angles, no? Murag na ay ka ng indent, no? May cleft, okay? So, the bone marrow biopsy, we appreciate the location of your tumor cells in the paratrabecular position, no? So, sabi nito, the trabecular distribution, these are the pattern of your infiltrating lymphoma cells accumulating in the trabeculae, okay? So, in the tissue section, we will appreciate the presence of your centrocytes. Centrocytes are small irregular cells with angular appearance. No? As you can see, parang may angle, no, ang mga cells dito. Then, we can appreciate also the presence of your centroblasts. These are larger cells with round to ovoid nuclei and 1 to 3 nucleoli. Okay? So the follicular lymphoma are graded according to the number of the larger cells or yung centroblast natin, such that patients who are with grade 3 are poor in outcome. Okay, so we have a distinct prognostic index for your follicular lymphoma, which is your FLIPI, no? And it's dependent on your presence of your lymph node involvement, age at diagnosis, the presence of your increased serum marker, then the staging, and in your based on hemoglobin. Now, usually if patient is asymptomatic, we can employ a watch and wait strategy. Then on top of that, we can, while waiting for the progression, we can immediately give rituximab or your anti-CD20 monoclonal antibody. Now, if the patient is symptomatic, then we use combination therapy, no? Chemotherapy or chemoimmunotherapy or radioimmunotherapy or yung R-CHOP natin. Then if the patient is in relapse, no, then we can use hematopoietic stem cell transplantation. Okay. So your mantle cell lymphoma is made up of 6% of your non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's still a disease of your elderly and predominantly affects males, and it's generally clinically aggressive. Now, the clinical manifestations, we appreciate the presence of your extensive lymphadenopathy, and it's most commonly affect your GI tract. So bone marrow and peripheral blood involvement is common, and in the peripheral blood smear, we appreciate the presence of your lymphoma cells in 75%, then absolute lymphocytosis in more than 50%. But the problem in mantle cell lymphoma is that morphologically it appears the same with other disease. Kaya diagnosis is kinda difficult morphology wise. Kaya we have to do the demonstration of either the translocation of chromosome 11, 14, or overexpression of your cyclin D1. However, if the cyclin D1 is absent, we look for your SOX11. So, ano yung mga different morphologies ng ating mantle cell lymphoma? Now, the most common presentation, we may appreciate small to medium cells with notched, clefted, or otherwise irregularly shaped nuclei, no? Sometimes it may appear as small appearing lymphocytes na parang same with CLL, or sometimes with flayed cytoplasmic projections, same with your HCL or hairy cell leukemia or splenic marginal zone lymphoma. Sometimes it may appear as immature blast-like cells, which might be mistaken for as leukemia, or sometimes with atypical cells with ovoid or irregularly shaped nuclei, na sometimes mistaken for as large cell lymphoma, or magkaroon siya ng large prominent single nucleoli that may appear as pro-lymphocytes. So, same with follicular lymphoma, mantle cell lymphoma has different prognostic index, and it's dependent in the age at diagnosis, the WBC count, the tumor burden or your LDH, and your ECOG performance status. So, the common treatment for your follicular lymphoma is you first do chemoimmunotherapy with BRR-CHOP. No? So, yung BRR-CHOP is a chemotherapy made up of your radiotherapy, then your C for cyclophosphamide, H for your doxorubicin, then O for your vincristine, then P for your prednisone. Bakit CHOP? Kasi yung brand name kasi nila yan ang starting na letter, okay? But the generic is your cyclophosphamide, doxorubicin, vincristine, and prednisone, followed by in hematopoietic stem cell transplantation. Then these patients are maintained on rituximab. For younger population, you may use hyper-CVAD, which is yung rituximab, cyclophosphamide, vincristine, and doxorubicin, and dexamethasone. Then, if ever kung asymptomatic, you may just do the watch and wait strategy. Okay? So you can also, because this is a disease of your B cell, then you can use B cell receptor signaling inhibitors, no? And you can use CD19 for CAR T cell or a CAR T cell therapy. Okay? So kindly please forgive my heading. This is under mantle cell lymphoma. Okay? That's not follicular lymphoma. Okay, that's your mantle cell lymphoma na. Then next, let's discuss your diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, which is an aggressive form of your disease. No, this is the most common form of non-Hodgkin lymphoma. It's more of a disease of elderly. It may arise de novo or as is, or a transformation from a more indolent form of lymphoma. So, like sa small lymphocytic na siya galing, sa follicular, or pwede siya sa mantle zone lymphoma. So, it is aggressive but still curable. So, usually we appreciate the rapidly expanding painless lymphadenopathy in one or more sites. Common extranodal involvement will be your gastrointestinal tract, your testis, and your bone. So, yung bone marrow involvement may not be concordant with your nodal or extranodal site. So, like for example, no, yung lymph node mo, they shows diffuse large B cell, then bone marrow may also show diffuse large B cell. Pero sometimes, pwede din na kung pag biopsying mo ang lymph node, diffuse large B cell, pero pag biopsying mo sa bone marrow, na ay follicular lymphoma. Kaya yun, pwede siya concordant, meaning same ang findings, bone marrow or lymph node, or disconcordant, magkaiba ang type ng lymphoma sa bone marrow and sa lymph node. Okay? So, ano ang appearance ng ating diffuse large B-cell? So, it looks like a leukemic blast, no, which appears pleomorphic with large round nuclear or with large round or irregular nuclei rather, with prominent nucleoli and variably clumped chromatin. Now, we should appreciate the mutations of your since parang leukemic blast siya, so it's different, mahirap i-identify morphologically. Kaya we should find the presence of other translocations such as your translocation involving your BCL6 gene or translocation involving your BCL2 gene, which may also be appreciated in your follicular lymphoma. Then, pwede din na MYC gene rearrangement, which may also be appreciated in your Burkitt's lymphoma. And sometimes may triple hit, no? May MYC, may BCL2, and meron ding BCL6. Okay? Now, we have two different subtypes of your diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. We have the germinal center and the non-germinal center diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. The germinal center has a better prognosis and yung non-germinal has poorer prognosis, and we may treat it with brutal tyrosine kinase inhibitors. So, paano natin na-identify? We use gene expression profiling to define the two primary subtypes, okay? So, these subtypes actually are based on the normal stages of your B-cell development. So, as you can see, this picture is a diagram of your Hans algorithm, which is used to classify your diffuse large B-cell lymphoma based on your immunohistochemical markers, no, which is the germinal center B-cell-like subtype and your non-germinal center B-cell-like subtype. So, how to identify? So, first you immunophenotype and identify if these cells has CD10, no? If is CD10 positive, then immediately group it as germinal center diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. However, if negative, proceed with immunophenotyping with BCL6. If it's negative for BCL6, then that's your non-germinal center. However, if positive, no, further identify it with the next marker, which is your MUM1. And if it is MUM1 positive, then it's your non-germinal center type. But if it's MUM1 negative, then it's your germinal center na type. Okay? So, these are the different morphologic variants of our diffuse large B-cell lymphoma. Madami, no? But even if it's aggressive, it's highly curable, and we use the IPI for your prognostication. So, your treatment again is your rituximab plus combination therapy with your cyclophosphamide, doxorubicin, vincristine, and your prednisone, which is your RCHOP protocol. Okay, then next is your marginal zone lymphoma. Okay, so your marginal zone lymphoma is an indolent B-cell lymphoma and is usually associated with your chronic antigen stimulation. So, meaning if the patient has a chronic infection, usually like for example H. pylori infection, nagkakaroon ng progression into a type of cancer or yung marginal zone lymphoma, no? So it has three subtypes, no, which is your extranodal marginal zone lymphoma of MALT, no? We also have splenic marginal zone lymphoma and your nodal marginal zone lymphoma. Okay? So again, review your MALT. It's your mucosa-associated lymphoid tissue. Okay. So, ang ating MALT lymphoma, no, or yung first type natin, the extranodal marginal zone lymphoma of MALT or MALT lymphoma, is the most common type of your marginal zone lymphoma, and it's associated with organs which lacks obvious lymphoid tissue and exposed to chronic inflammation. And since they are exposed to chronic inflammation, always nag-proliferate ang B cell, leading to uncontrolled growth and malignant transformation. Most of the time, it is the organ involved is your stomach, and it's more associated with your H. pylori infection. So how to treat? Just treat your H. pylori, no? So in your endoscopy findings, you may appreciate here the tissue edema, no? Then sa C nito, this is your blunting of your villi. Review your histology. You also appreciate the presence of your lymphocytic proliferation sa inyong stomach, and immunostaining will be positive with your B cell type, okay, yung CD19, CD20. So the next type of your marginal zone lymphoma is your splenic marginal zone lymphoma, no, which is comprised of less than 1% of your non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, still a disease of your elderly, and it involves your spleen, lymph node, bone marrow, and peripheral blood. Now, has a massive splenomegaly and absolute lymphocytosis, and the common characteristic is your villous lymphocyte, no? So, as you can see, baka ma-mistaken for siya as hairy cell leukemia. Okay? So, paano natin ma-differentiate ang villus lymphocyte versus hairy cell? Again, recall that your hairy cell leukemia has circumferential projection, no? However, ang villus lymphocyte polar ang kanyang projection, meaning isang side lang, hindi circumferential. As you can see in the arrow, no, on the anatomical right, may projection, but sa left, walang projection. Here, polar, no, projection here, projection there, but walang projection dito. Here, it's also polar. The projection is here, pero dito, walang projection. So, ganyan ang kanyang difference. Okay? Also, it is also negative for CD103 and annexin A, and your treatment is watch and waiting pa rin, and you may give rituximab. So lastly, our nodal marginal zone lymphoma. So, ang nangyari sa nodal marginal zone lymphoma, the cells extend from the mantle marginal zone interface. So, kung ang MALT lymphoma is associated with H. pylori, your nodal marginal zone lymphoma is associated with your hepatitis C. So next is your mycosis fungoides or your Sézary syndrome. This is the most common form of your cutaneous T-cell lymphoma. So this is a disease of the elderly, more commonly affecting males. So the mycosis fungoides and Sézary syndrome technically involves the skin. But as you can see, you can appreciate a pattern na most of the time, pag T-cell involvement, nagkakaroon talaga ng skin involvement, no? So, kung mycosis fungoides, it's the most common form. It's really just confined to the skin, but it may have a propensity to disseminate in later stages, but rarely. It's the more indolent or good prognosis, and it's made up of your effector memory cells, T cells, okay? So your Sézary syndrome is the more aggressive and more systemic disorder. It may still involve the skin, pero mas more systemic ang kanyang manifestation. It primarily involves your peripheral blood, no? Among the two, this has the worst prognosis, and it's more made up of your central memory T cell, okay? So, again, this disease is a disorder of your CD4 cell. It will appear as the MF cells or the Sézary syndrome cells has scat cytoplasm, cerebriform, and folded nucleus. No? So you can see nuclear folding. You can appreciate here dito sa baba, no? Dito sa taas, it has a cerebriform pattern. Yan parang cerebrum, no? So, in your clinically, the patient will appear to have parang psoriasis, no? Psoriatic-like formations. Then, uh, biopsy-wise, you appreciate the presence of potrier microabscess in your epidermis. Okay? So, this is the localization of atypical cells in the potrier microabscess of your epidermis. Okay? Psoriasis and your potrier microabscess with your MF atypical cells. Okay? Okay, so actually, this is the histological hallmark of your mycosis fungoides. Okay? So, sa Sézary syndrome, iba din, no? Pula kayang pasyente, erythroderma. Systemic syndrome, no? We appreciate generalized lymphadenopathy. Then, we appreciate the presence of the Sézary cells, no? In your skin, lymph node, and peripheral blood. So, the Sézary cells are your T cells found in your Sézary syndrome. It's still the same characteristics with your mycosis fungoides cell, no? Yung mga cerebriform pattern. So, how do we diagnose Sézary syndrome? You have to appreciate all these three, yung erythroderma, LAD, and your Sézary cell, plus at least one of the following, no? We have increased ratio of our CD4 cells. You may also appreciate loss of at least one of the T cell antigen, or you can appreciate a presence of absolute sensory count of more than 1,000 cells per microliter in your peripheral blood. So your Sézary syndrome has the worst prognosis, and treatment of your mycosis fungoides consists largely of agents used to treat symptoms of the disease. So, pwede localized therapy lang like topical steroids, no? You can use nitrogen mustard and phototherapy. Pero if more advanced ang disease, then you can use chemotherapy, interferons, and monoclonal antibodies, but only hematopoietic stem cell transplantation has the potential cure. So, next, let's discuss our anaplastic large cell lymphoma, which is a T-cell lymphoma pa rin, presenting with large pleomorphic cell. These have CD30 positive immunophenotyping, and it has two subtypes. We have the ALK positive cell, no, which made up of 10 to 30% of your childhood lymphomas, and it has better prognosis. Pag ALK negative, it's more on the older population, and it may be associated with your breast implants. Most of the time, um, it is advanced in your presentation. We appreciate your B symptoms. Common organs involved are your lymph nodes, skin, bones, and soft tissues. So, ang ating sa anaplastic large cell lymphoma, ang lymphoma cells natin may appear as large, no? Irregular, with lobulated nuclei, no? So sometimes it may be resemble blast. So you can appreciate here, we have here the lobulated nuclei. Okay, so I think I forgot to mention ALK is your anaplastic lymphoma kinase pala. Okay, so ALK is anaplastic lymphoma kinase. Okay, so treatment, usually chemotherapy with CHOP, no? But you can use also, since this is CD30 positive cell, then you can use anti-CD30, which is your brentuximab, usually used for relapse disease. And lastly, pwede hematopoietic stem cell transplantation. So next, we have the peripheral T-cell lymphoma, not otherwise specified. So these disease are heterogeneous group of disorders that is not, or it lacks your categorizing features or defining features that would place them in a certain category. No, kaya dili siya ma-classify, kaya not otherwise specified. Usually, these are disorders of your post-tiny T cells with the rearrangement on your T cell receptor. So, usually, clinical laboratory findings, nagkakaroon ng T cell mismatch, negative for CD7 and CD5 with variable clinical course. So lastly, let's discuss our Hodgkin's lymphoma. So this is a rare nodal-based disease of a younger age group, further classified under nodular lymphocyte predominant Hodgkin lymphoma or the classic Hodgkin's lymphoma. So the classic Hodgkin's lymphoma is the most common type. It has a bimodal age distribution, and you really appreciate the presence of cervical, supraclavicular, or mediastinal lymphadenopathy. So since classical siya, classic, we can find the presence of our Reed-Sternberg cells. These are large binucleated or multinucleated cells with abundant cytoplasm and distinct nuclei. Okay? So again, these are positive for CD30 and CD15. Now, your Reed-Sternberg cells reside in lymph nodes in a sea of reactive cells, no? These reactive cells may include lymphocytes, histiocytes, granulocytes, or other cells, no? So again, muna siya, no? Kung i-question mo sa histology or sa pathology ba ninyo pohon, so in the center is your Reed-Sternberg cell, no? Then yung mga surrounding cells, these are reactive cells, no? Or reactive. So, ang cancer is yung RS, surrounding is your reactive cells, no? So it has four subtypes, which is nodular sclerosis, mixed cellularity, lymphocyte-rich, or lymphocyte-depleted. So paano siya classify? So yung subtype actually is categorized as a result of the background in which RS or RS-like cells are found. No? So, di ba, kita ka ng Reed-Sternberg cells. So, depende kung ano yung nasa palibot, um, yun ang tawag ng kanyang ng kanyang type of lymphoma, no? So, as you can see, kung for example, no, natay mga kung nodular sclerosis, so siguro parang sclerose ang tawag, no? Mixed cellularity, magkakaibang cells ang present na nasa palibot, no? Then lymphocyte rich if madaming lymphocytes, then lymphocyte depleted if konti lang, okay? But the most common form of your classic Hodgkin's lymphoma is your nodular sclerosis type, okay? So next we have the atypical or non-classic Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is your nodular lymphocyte predominant Hodgkin's lymphoma. So, anong pinagkaiba nila? So, one, it's a disease of younger adults. Mediastinal adenopathy is uncommon. And instead of your Reed-Sternberg cells, you appreciate the presence of lymphocytic histiocytic cells or your LH cells. Okay? So these are large cells with scant cytoplasm in a single folded nucleus, as you can see here. This is what they call as popcorn cells. So, as compared with your Hodgkin's lymphoma na classic, na positive for CD30 and CD15, ang ang atong nodular lymphocyte, it's negative for CD15 and CD30, but we may appreciate the presence of your epithelial membrane antigen. Okay? So, sa treatment natin, you may use combination therapy. Dati, we use MOP, which is mecloretamine, vincristine, procarbazine, and prednisone. But now, we use the ABVD. So, as you can see, kuha ninyo pag non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, it's your R-CHOP. Pero pag Hodgkin's lymphoma, we use ABVD. So, ano yung ABVD? So, A for adriamycin, which is a brand of your doxorubicin. B for bleomycin, V for vinblastine, and D for the carbazine. Okay? So, Hodgkin's, ABVD, non-Hodgkin's, CHOP or R-CHOP. Okay? Then, you can use also radiotherapy for localized disease or if bulky ang lymphadenopathy, we can also use alkylating agent. And lastly, if may relapse, may hematopoietic stem cell transplantation. Okay? Pero kung nag-relapse pa yun after transplant, then you may use your immune checkpoint blocking inhibitors, no? Which is your nivolumab or pembrolizumab. Okay? So, watch out lang kay though ang Hodgkin's lymphoma is treatable, most of the time, pagtigulang sa patient or usually after 10 years, nagkakaroon ng secondary malignancy. So, usually if the patients are treated with radiotherapy, after 10 years, nagkakaroon ng leukemia, no? or kung alkylating agents, no, usually nagkakaroon ng myelodysplastic neoplasm or AML. Okay? So, again, to compare between the two, Hodgkin's lymphoma, usually nodal disease, no? Pag non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, ang extent is non-contiguous and may involve other organs, okay? So, no Reed-Sternberg cells ang Hodgkin, with Reed-Sternberg cell ang Hodgkin, pero yung nodular type, no, yung non-classic, it's your LH cell. Non-Hodgkin, usually treatment is CHOP, no? Then ABVD or MOP sa iyong Hodgkin lymphoma. Okay, so I think we're done for the lecture for lymphomas. So again, anong atake? You have to know the difference between your Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Then amongst those sa non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, familiarize yourself on the different types of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Ano yung characteristic cells nila? What are the different immunophenotypes? Then again, yung kanyang treatment. Okay? So, yun pa rin. So, ganun pa rin ang atake natin. Okay? So, thank you.